Understand that there has been a very important partnership as far as trade is concerned, big trade partnership for a long time now.
And the UAE, under the guidance of the two leaders, had signed the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement last year. And since the signing of that important strategic landmark agreement between the two countries, the trade and economic partnership and engagement has grown significantly between the two countries. The visit this time puts together another pillar of that strategic economic partnership in a couple of important ways. Firstly, the two leaders witnessed today an exchange of important agreements, one of them being on the settlement of trade settlement in local currencies. The second of them being interlinking the payment and the messaging systems of the two countries. What it essentially does is puts together important segments of the ecosystem in economic engagement that brings about ever-increasing greater strategic economic convergence between the economies of India and the UAE. It reduces the transaction time, it reduces the transaction cost, it essentially ensures an enormous ease of business at the level of trade between the two countries. And if one was to combine that with the benefits that are already accruing to the two economies from the last year's CEPA, you will see that the agreement signed today will be of great significance. Similarly, the linking up of the payment and the messaging systems of the two countries will add another dimension to our greater economic convergence and also brings together the synergies, harnesses the synergies between the two economies. In many ways, looking forward, looking ahead, the visit today will perhaps open up new pathways for India to look at structuring a similar partnership with other countries, both in the region and beyond. During this visit, the two leaders also witnessed another important landmark, the first of its kind, of Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, setting up a unit, setting up a campus in UAE. This is important not just from the perspective of our bilateral cooperation in the field of education, but it is also very significant in terms of bringing together the people-to-people ties, strengthening them further, for it would allow a very important segment of our people-to-people partnership, which is the students and the connect between the students, the Indian diaspora, the UAE system, and the Indian and the top-rated education system of IIT Delhi, to link up with the opportunities which are available in the UAE and further strengthen our this pillar of this important pillar of our partnership. All in all, as I said, the visit has been of great significance. It puts in place new foundations for partnership in economic domain, which will bring about greater strategic convergence in months and years ahead, as it frees up, unlocks the value which is inherent in the two economies by facilitating the trade settlement mechanisms, by expanding economic linkages through the linking up of the payment and the messaging systems of the two countries, and as I said, expanding another important layer, which is the field of education cooperation between the two countries. Prime Minister would depart for India shortly, but this has been, although a short, but a very, very significant visit, a landmark in the partnership between India and the UAE.
All right, that was Foreign Secretary of India Vinay Kwatra speaking on Prime Minister Modi's day-long visit to the United Arab Emirates. Remember, Prime Minister Modi has now emplane for Delhi. He has departed for New Delhi and he'll be back soon in the country. And that was Foreign Secretary telling about the significance of this visit. He was talking about the MOUs that had been signed. Remember, this is a big boost to the India-UAE partnership, as the Ministry of External Affairs has stated. And right now we, of course, are talking about this might be a short visit, but of course it was important in its own sense. Two MOUs have been signed. There have been, of course, remember, IIT that will be set up. An IIT campus will be set up. That is a memorandum of IIT Delhi campus in Abu Dhabi, remember. That is another thing that is very important. My colleague and senior executive editor Abhishek Kapoor joining us on the phone line for more. Abhishek, as we just heard about what the MOUs signed here are, and one of them, of course, includes the memorandum of understanding on to establish an IIT Delhi campus in Abu Dhabi, which was, of course, in the works for a long time now. And finally, we see an MOU that has been signed on that. And this is something very important. Remember the fact that there are many, Indian expats who are in UAE, and the students also there. They also sometimes they have to return back to the country to get themselves, admitted in IITs. So this, of course, is a very important part of the memorandum of understanding.
That's just one, and remember, these small things keep happening. I would say small things because the India-UAE partnership is very deep, it's very broad, it's enduring. And in the last few years, since Prime Minister Modi and President earlier Crown Prince, now President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, they have personally invested in making this partnership really strong. And it's visible in all aspects, economy, trade, strategic issues, geopolitics, geoeconomics. The fact that India played some backdoor behind-the-scenes role in the Abraham Accords, the fact that we are seeing the I2U2 with India, United Arab Emirates, Israel and the United States having an informal organization or understanding where they come together and discuss issues of geostrategy. And on the economy side, the Prime Minister, when he made that opening comments, when he said that we have $85 billion worth of trade, and can we really achieve $100 billion by the time the G20 summit happens, which is in the month of September. So, that's the kind of ambition that's really going into this relationship, where the two leaders are confident that maybe they can do it. The comprehensive economic partnership agreement that was signed last year between the two nations, and just one of the three nations with which India has done this free trade agreement in the last couple of years. The fact that the president of UAE came to receive the Prime Minister, has come to drop him back. These are really unprecedented pictures, and this gives an idea of the kind of very personal chemistry that Prime Minister Modi has developed with the UAE leadership. We have seen earlier how he was given the highest civilian honor of UAE, and if you look at the manner in which Prime Minister has invested with Egypt, with Saudi Arabia, with Bahrain, with the Maldives, with Qatar, all these nations, maybe not as much with Qatar, but with Oman, for example, I think this gives a message that we have very good relationship with these nations in this geography, and irrespective of what some people might believe, Narendra Modi has had very good relationship with the Islamic world as well. So I think on that note, Prime Minister saying goodbye, and this relationship, of course, would continue to get strengthened as the two leaders have chalked out a roadmap about which we'll keep discussing maybe next time as well, when possibly the UAE president would be visiting India.